Every monarchy has its legends, its icons, and its whispers of heartbreak, stories buried beneath diamond tiaras and velvet thrones. But few stories in modern royal history are as haunting, as quietly devastating, and as deeply ironic as the one that circles around Queen Sofia of Spain. A woman revered by many, respected globally for her grace, endurance, and loyalty, now finds her maternal instincts scrutinized under a relentless spotlight. And according to the top royal expert on her life and reign, the one decision that might define her legacy, perhaps even tarnish it, is shockingly close to home. The expert doesn't mince words. Queen Sofia's biggest mistake was her son, King Felipe VI. This assertion isn't just a personal jab. It is a political, historical, and emotional earthquake. To understand the gravity of this statement, one must dive into the maze of royal loyalty, constitutional conflict, shifting alliances, and a monarchy struggling to stay relevant in the modern age. Queen Sofia, born Princess Sofia of Greece and Denmark, was raised in a world where monarchy was sacred and scandal was hidden behind heavy palace curtains. She married Juan Carlos with the expectation of serving a kingdom, not just a husband. And serve she did. Through betrayals, public humiliation, and years of silence, Sofia stood as the stoic matriarch, always placing the crown above her own dignity, her own voice. But in doing so, did she also forge a son who would ultimately abandon her values? King Felipe VI is often portrayed as the clean slate of the Spanish monarchy. After the turbulent and scandal-laden reign of King Juan Carlos I, Felipe was presented as the modern monarch Spain desperately needed: calm, educated, loyal to the Constitution, and most of all, untainted by the sins of his father. But this image, as squeaky clean as it appears, comes with its own costs. While Felipe might be praised internationally, there are those within his inner royal circle who feel betrayed, silenced, and even discarded. Chief among them is Queen Sofia, the very woman who fought tooth and nail to keep the monarchy standing through its darkest hours. The tension didn't start overnight. Years before Felipe ascended to the throne, Sofia was already noticing a shift in her relationship with her only son. Once a boy who looked up to her as the heart of the royal family, Felipe began gravitating toward a different vision, one shaped largely by his wife, Queen Letizia. Letizia Ortiz, a former journalist, came into the royal family like a whirlwind. Brilliant, ambitious, media-savvy, and unafraid to challenge decades of royal protocol, Letizia wasn't content with playing a supporting role. She wanted to redefine what it meant to be a royal consort. And Felipe, caught between two powerful women with vastly different worldviews, made a choice. He chose Letizia. This choice, subtle at first, grew more apparent over the years. Queen Sofia was gradually pushed to the periphery of royal life. Public appearances became awkwardly choreographed events, with body language experts often noting the tension between the mother and the daughter-in-law. The infamous 2018 Easter incident in Palma, where Queen Letizia appeared to block Queen Sofia from taking a photo with her granddaughters, Princess Leonor and Infanta Sofia, was not just a media sensation, it was a public unraveling of deeply private royal wounds. In that moment, millions of Spaniards and royal watchers saw what had long been whispered, that the Spanish monarchy was not united. That the woman who had held the family together through the darkest scandals, King Juan Carlos's affairs, his financial controversies, and his self-imposed exile, was now being sidelined in favor of a newer, shinier image of monarchy. And where was King Felipe in all this? Silent, distant, detached. For many observers, his unwillingness to publicly support his mother or mediate tensions between Sofia and Letizia was not just a disappointment, it was a betrayal. It signaled a shift in royal allegiance, not just between individuals but between two visions of monarchy, one rooted in old-world honor and sacrifice, the other in PR strategies and progressive modernity. The royal expert who made the controversial claim about Sofia's biggest mistake isn't alone in their thinking. Multiple biographers, insiders, and former palace staff have described Felipe as cold, transactional, and, at times, more concerned with optics than loyalty. He's been accused of valuing institutional survival over familial bonds. And perhaps that's the true tragedy here. Queen Sofia did not raise a tyrant or a scandal-plagued ruler. She raised a king who would rather sever emotional ties than risk the crown. A king who watched his mother fade into the background and did nothing. Behind palace walls, it's said that Queen Sofia often eats alone. That she no longer receives the invitations she once did. That her role is now largely ceremonial, despite her decades of service. And while Queen Letizia and King Felipe project a carefully curated image of harmony and duty, many Spaniards still remember the queen who endured it all without a word, Sofia, the silent strength of the Bourbon dynasty. This brings us to a painful but necessary truth. Could Queen Sofia have acted differently? Should she have spoken up when she was being sidelined? Should she have fought harder for her place in the lives of her grandchildren, in the public eye, and in the institution she helped stabilize? Or was her silence, her infamous composure, part of the problem? By always choosing duty over emotion, has she created a royal culture where emotional bonds are expendable, where even a son can become a political liability? Many royal watchers believe that if Queen Sofia had asserted herself more forcefully, Felipe might have understood the importance of family unity beyond PR statements. Instead, her restraint, admirable as it may be, became a lesson in invisibility. And in the end, the woman who endured so much became a footnote in a monarchy obsessed with rebranding. Felipe VI is now king of a deeply divided royal household. While his approval ratings remain relatively stable, his family dynamic tells a different story. His relationship with his sisters, Infanta Elena and Infanta Cristina, has also grown distant, particularly after their father's exile and the public fallout of the News corruption case involving Cristina's husband. The royal family has become fragmented, each member retreating into their own corner of silence and solitude. What's left for Queen Sofia? She continues to attend events, often alone, sometimes beside her estranged husband, King Juan Carlos, during his rare returns to Spain. She still smiles for the cameras, still carries herself with the dignity of a queen. But the sparkle, many say, has dimmed. The emotional toll of being both a royal icon and a forgotten mother weighs heavily on her now fragile frame. Yet even in this melancholic twilight of her public life, Sofia commands a loyalty among the Spanish people that no amount of PR can manufacture. She represents sacrifice, endurance, and an old-world royal ethos that valued integrity over performance. And perhaps that's why her story, her supposed mistake, resonates so deeply. Because it asks uncomfortable questions about legacy, love, and what we're willing to sacrifice for duty. Queen Sofia may have given Spain a king, but in doing so, did she lose the son who once adored her? As this royal tale continues to unfold under the watchful eye of the world, one thing remains clear: behind every crown lies a story of heartbreak. And in the case of Queen Sofia, the heartbreak is not in what was done to her, but in what she sacrificed willingly, for a monarchy that has yet to fully repay her devotion. Now we turn to you, our viewers. After hearing this emotional and controversial story, do you believe Queen Sofia's greatest mistake was trusting too much in her own blood? Or is there still time for King Felipe to repair what's been broken between him and his mother? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video for more royal family revelations.